The invisible addiction. You wake up and reach for your phone before your eyes fully open, and it feels harmless, almost automatic. But this is where it gets worse. Your brain is already chasing a hit of dopamine, the chemical that drives motivation and reward. Every scroll, every notification, every tiny burst of novelty trains your brain to expect instant pleasure. The real danger is that your brain starts rejecting anything that feels slow or effortful. Reading, studying, even thinking deeply begins to feel boring. What would happen if this continues for years? Your attention span shrinks, your patience disappears, and your ability to focus on meaningful work slowly erodes. You're not lazy, you're conditioned. And once you see it, you realize this isn't just a habit, it's a system quietly controlling your behavior every single day. Dopamine hijack. Imagine your brain like a reward machine that was designed for survival, not modern life. Now flood it with social media, junk food, and endless entertainment. This is where everything breaks. Your brain starts getting rewards without effort, and that rewires your expectations. The problem is simple, but brutal. When easy rewards are everywhere, hard rewards lose their appeal. Why study for hours when you can get instant pleasure in seconds? But here's the twist. The more you chase quick dopamine, the less you actually enjoy it. What once felt exciting becomes normal, then boring, then empty. So you consume more, chasing the same feeling that keeps slipping away. This cycle traps you, not because you lack discipline, but because your brain has been trained to crave stimulation over meaning. And breaking that cycle requires something most people avoid: the dopamine crash. At first, high stimulation feels amazing, but the crash that follows is what nobody talks about. After binge watching, endless scrolling, or gaming for hours, you don't feel energized. You feel drained. This is where it gets dangerous. Your baseline dopamine drops, which means normal life feels dull and exhausting. Even simple tasks feel heavier than they should. The real problem is not the activity itself, but the contrast it creates. Your brain compares everything to those intense spikes, and everything else loses. What would happen if your entire day is built on these highs and lows? You become stuck in a loop where only extreme stimulation feels satisfying and everything else feels like a chore. This is why people say they feel unmotivated, even when they want to improve. Their brain is simply out of balance. The detox illusion. Most people think dopamine detox means removing dopamine completely, but that's not just wrong, it's impossible. Dopamine is essential for survival. You need it to move, think, and function. So what's the real idea behind detox? It's not about eliminating dopamine, it's about resetting your sensitivity to it. But here's the problem. People go extreme. They try to cut everything at once. No phone, no music, no entertainment, and they fail within days. Why? Because the brain resists sudden deprivation. The smarter approach is not total removal, but controlled reduction. You reduce the intensity of your inputs so your brain can recalibrate. This is where it gets interesting. When you lower stimulation, even small things start to feel rewarding again. A walk feels peaceful, a book feels engaging, focus begins to return. And that's when the real transformation starts. Rewiring the reward system. Once you reduce high stimulation, something unexpected happens. Your brain starts looking for new sources of reward. This is where the shift begins. Tasks that once felt boring slowly become tolerable, then satisfying. The real magic is in effort-based rewards. When you earn dopamine through progress, not consumption, your brain changes how it values time. But here's the catch. The beginning feels uncomfortable. You will feel bored. You will feel restless. That's not failure, that's your brain resetting. What would happen if you push through that phase? You unlock a level of focus most people never experience. Work becomes immersive. Time feels different. You stop needing constant stimulation just to feel okay. This is the point where discipline stops feeling forced and starts feeling natural because your brain is finally aligned with your goals. The silent benefits. The biggest changes are not obvious at first, and that's why most people quit too early. But if you stay consistent, subtle shifts begin to compound. Your attention span expands. Your thoughts become clearer. You start noticing details you used to ignore. This is where it gets powerful. You gain control over your impulses. Instead of reacting instantly, you pause, think, and choose. The real benefit is not just productivity, it's mental freedom. You are no longer controlled by every notification, every urge, every distraction. Imagine being able to sit with your thoughts without feeling the need to escape. Imagine finishing tasks without constant breaks. These are not superpowers. They are your brain returning to its natural state. And once you experience this clarity, going back to constant stimulation feels almost unbearable. The long-term transformation. The final stage is where everything connects. Dopamine detox is not a one-time challenge, it's a lifestyle shift. The goal is not to avoid pleasure, but to choose it wisely. This is where most people misunderstand the concept. You don't eliminate fun, you redefine it. High stimulation becomes occasional, not constant. Effort becomes rewarding, not draining. The real danger is slipping back into old patterns without noticing. But here's the difference now. You are aware. You understand how your brain works. What would happen if you maintain this balance long term? You build a life where focus, discipline, and enjoyment coexist. You stop chasing empty highs and start creating meaningful progress. And that's the real payoff. Not just a more productive mind, but a more controlled, intentional, and powerful version of yourself.